I'm Vicky Irwin, and I lead the modules development team at Click Security. So how do we start such an investigation? When we're presented with a very highly critical incident where everyone timing is critical, everyone needs to solve this very quickly, but all we have is a mountain of raw events involving thousands of systems. So where do we start? Well, the core modules, fortunately, provide us a starting point. We have lots of analytics that drive into these core modules that tell us all of the actors that are involved on your network and what events they're generating, what events they're involved in. Specifically, the events we're most involved in are security-based events, anomalies, attacks. And the Click system will collect all of that for you and correlate all of that for you. So you're presented with a view of all of the actors on your network, and what immediately rises to your attention are those that are causing a lot of trouble, those that are generating a lot of anomalies or are receiving a lot of attacks. And that's the starting point for our investigation. We pulled in Blue Coat logs, which is a web proxy, and also ISS intrusion detection logs. The Blue Coat logs allowed us to create a dynamic map of the network through a mechanism that we call fan-out charts. And this takes the events, extracts the actors, and understands the relationships between these actors, and then maps them onto a diagram where the analyst can view who's talking to who. And then more importantly, it overlays on that diagram the events that are occurring. So you can not only see who's talking to who, but what are they doing and what type of anomaly events are they generating. The starting point in an investigation like this, where we really don't know what's going on, is to simply uptake all of the data and correlate it and see which actors rise to the top. We then take those actors, the ones that are producing a lot of anomalies, or the ones that are involved in especially dangerous security events. We start with those as the beginning point of our investigation. Then the way the system really helps you move out from there, especially in an incident like this where we have many hosts involved, and a lot of these hosts were very busy hosts, things like domain controller servers that have a lot of normal traffic, is to start with the ones that seem to be involved in the most trouble, and then look at who they're talking to. We can look at who they're talking to and what sorts of things are going on with these folks. What sorts of communications are they involved in? Are there any attacks going on with them? And if we see attacks going on with them, we see interesting things, we can go out a layer deeper and say, who are these folks talking to? And that process can continue. We can go levels and levels deep into the system. We start with one node, we find everyone that node is talking to, then we find everyone that his friends are talking to, and everyone their friends are talking to, and this fan-out analysis continues to grow. And so you can see all of the relationships happening on your network. And notice that these aren't static relationships. These are very dynamic. We can do it by time slice. This can be a very short interval of time, and you can see who's talking to who within the short interval of time. And then also, what are your anomaly detection systems, like your ISS, your tipping point, your other products that you've already invested in to detect anomalies, what are they saying about these interactions? And you can correlate them and aggregate them, and it really highlights hotbeds, hotspots of activity in your network. And then once you have this big diagram that shows you how everyone's communicating and where your hotspots of activity are, you can start to understand how those hotspots relate to each other. Given this high-level view of hotbeds of activity and how they relate, you really start to get an understanding of where you need to drill down, which hosts you need to go physically look at and examine their in-depth logs. This is the type of guidance that you don't get from a mountain of raw events. You just have to paw through it and check each machine one by one.